Should be live on YouTube. Milkman has started trade review. What is that, bro? Okay. Anyway, so it came into pre-market and along. I was fine with this, and then we just dubbed right off open. And then I sat on my hands. I waited, and then I got in here on the long. And then it started going up. Then it ripped my stop, and then it bounced. So right idea, wrong timing on NQ. And then GC, I just took a scalp short on this. I shorted right up here. Just scalped this. This was like literally like a 15-minute trade, not even. That's how I got the 1500 on there. And then I did take a paper trade on NQ. I logged down here when I saw this reaction. But yeah, overall decent day. Besides, last night with someone named Nikki, bro. Nikki, I hope you know I'm never letting you live that down, bro. I'm gonna continue to bring it up. Okay. No, Nikki, that's not. It's not Nikki's fault. It's just I can't listen to anyone else's. Like I can't listen to anyone else when they talk about trading because I'll do some retarded shit. Like I will be like I'll go from okay, this is my analysis and my thought process to like it feels like someone beats me over the head with a club and I just fucking become stupid. Price stopped in profits on this MGC short Asia. Price at higher time frame, low volume node, higher time frame fib, and your weekly VWAP checkbook map. See big limit. But figures price would not want to go higher. See reaction enter short. Size didn't light 5 micros when price started moving towards my direction. Waited for retest. Scaled to 10 micros. Edge so hard and stopped in profit was mass fuck, so I locked myself out for the whole day. Probably good on that plasma. Showed my stop to the blue line. Most of my winners are cut short by stops and profit, and most of my losses go straight to stop loss. Debating setting break even or near break even based off structure for the whole trade, but not sure. Glad I locked myself out, not giving shit back to the market. Good management position, good trailing, but still questionable. Okay, this short's clean. Where did we trail? Okay, so you got it in at 37.81. Yeah, 37.81. I just trail here. Once this retest comes out, I think that's proper. When we get down here, and here's the thing. Here's the thing with the GCIB, guys. If you're using the GCIB, okay, this sets, right? This GCIB sets up. And then it wicks the low. And then it immediately reverses. I would get out of my short position down here. I'd just get out of it. Because when I see it wick like that and then it starts building back to the upside, I'd get out. Just get out of it. Because you'll see that a lot where the GCIB, it wicks one side and then it just reverses completely. So if you see it wick like that, I'd just get out of it. Plasma. I think it's a good trade, bro. I think it's a good trade. You got 6 points out of it. 6-7 points. Which is solid. At one point this was 81. You're in at 81. This was a 20-point trade at one point. So if I'm trailing, right, I trail here. Right, I would trail to here. I see this continue to reject. Okay, this bases out. I trail to here. Okay. So that should at least be a 10-point trade. Okay, then I see this come out. Right, I would get aggressive with this. It'd be like a 15-point trade there. Are True Day stats bad today? It's because the range is so large for True Day. It was so far away. That's why we didn't hit it. I think if we opened up and we immediately just were bullish right off open, I think we would have hit it. But yeah, like it doesn't always have to hit True Day. It's like an 85% stat. So it's like, that's the other thing that I noticed. Some of you guys look at these stats and you're like, oh, 80%, 75%. You forget about the fucking 25% or the 20%. It doesn't always fucking happen, bro. It's a statistic. Like some of you guys think it's guaranteed when you see 75, 80%. It's not. It's not, bro. It's just higher probability. What is True Day? It's midnight New York. It's all lies? No, it's not. The stats play out. A lot of the time, they play out. That this London orb stat that I have given out, this played out today. Big fat lie? No, this London orb stat played out today. It was clean. No, but no, you're not using the orb. All right, you're not using the orb. You're using the double break of the orb. Right, so I'm trading it if I notice that it didn't do a double break in London. I'm trading towards it. Right, that's how I'm using it. It's not I'm trading the orb. Right. Okay. ZC took a short at value area high, 786 on 150K is targeting value area low. Also took it on a practice account as well. I've been working on getting more comfortable with bigger size and just trying to build a buffer on my exit face before sizing up. Okay, clean trade. A little 10-pointer. Solid entry. I would wait. I'd wait till you see this rejection here. Like, I mean, I think as this gets up to that area, right, we could continue to push, but when you see the next candle is also a doji, then I would potentially enter up there. Or you can enter on this retest. Either one of those is fine. Yeah, like this candle. This is where I would enter, which you did. Good management on this. I think it's solid. Baron's hairline always going to be a retracement. That's foul, bro. 0.5 fib, low volume node, VWAP, trail stops got hit. Brother. Was your target 62? Where was this at? Okay, this was at like 1 in the morning, bro. Like, I'm assuming you got in here. And you trailed it here. Once this starts to reverse, I would get out of that. Like, I would get out of this. And it's just, like, it's right near this low. To me, like, if this is going to break this IB low and it's going to hit extensions, there's not going to be a green candle here. Baron, can I join? Asks a question. Just type it in chat, bro. You got a hairline, haven't you? Not bald. I've got a kind of hairline. Just type it out, bro. I'm gonna be on Trade Review for like 30 minutes. Type it out. I think this is a solid trade, Milo. GC minus 170 took this trade based on 76 fib. On fib and Asia and London correlation stat tightened stop once price started acting up on VWAP. Target would have been Asia low. Okay. So we shorted this in London. We shorted this here. But Asia's flat. Asia's completely flat. So you don't know what London's going to do. You don't know if London's going to be green or red on this. Yeah, you marked Asia out wrong. Because this comes down to VWAP and then it just bounces. So, yeah, when it gets down to that VWAP area, I would look to see what the reaction is and then just cut it. Please give me 5 minutes. Let me do Trade Review, bro. Type it out. If it's gonna take you 5 minutes to ask, like, type it out, bro. Type it out. Yeah, you tightened. So at least it wasn't a bad loss. I'm fine with the Titan. But yeah. Quick little revenge trade got stopped in an instant. Brother, it bounced right off VWAP. And, like, London's going to sweep one side of Asia, typically. If it's inside this range, London's going to sweep one side of Asia. So when we see, like, this bounce is pretty strong, bounces off VWAP, and then it starts grinding up, which side do we think it's going to break? I'm probably leaning towards the highs breaking on this side. But yeah, bad. Dylan, can you post that GIF again for Killer Pazzi there? Quick little revenge trade. Just a small scalp, but would you have held this? I didn't because there's a bigger passive buyer down here. 2470. You just took 10 points on this. What time was this at? Or 24,700. I mean, yeah, like if I see this consolidation, and then it tries to pop up, I'm assuming this is on the 1 minute. Like here, somewhere in here. I just set the stop at the consolidation high and just see if it flushes. Hold up. Okay, this one's Can I check? Yeah, no skipping in line, buddy. No skipping in line. Short GC 618 high time frame fib, high volume node, true day open TP orb double break, scaled 2 cons at daily view up, strong reaction at 618. So I'm out, but should have trusted in the stats. Okay, I like this short. I like the scales. I like the stop adjustment. Came down to VWAP. Yeah, so I think it's fine to get out of this, especially when you see it come back. Like if you're trailing on the 5 minute, right? You would have been stopped anyway. If I'm trailing on each 5 minute, I would have been stopped out here. I don't know if you got stopped out break even, but I would trail on the 5 minute here. On this strong 5 minute, you've already scaled 2 cons. To me, when it's this close to this low, like. This, to me, when it bounces here, that's an unlucky bounce. That's unlucky, because that should break the low and hit your TP. I just bring my stop in here, and then if my TP's at this low, I'm bringing the stop to the top of that candle. Right? So, yeah. Entered at London IB, and price went through my stop loss without taking me out. Closed position. Yeah. Top Step was having some issues with... limit orders and stuff. So the fact that you have a screenshot here of it, I would open a ticket, see if you can get that change. Past combine 30-point short, MNQ 25 micros plus 1500 bear short order flow overall. Levels liquidity to be filled. Entry off, finish off VG rejection. Want to see at least the 500s. If this was a combine, I would have held until 500 at least, trailing tight stop. Done after one trade, stayed patient for a setup. Past combine can slow down and focus on XFA again. Let trade play out. Negatives took a risk of heavier size with downside candle not closing. Not sure what else to say. Taking scalps are more risk, but in general, I like to focus on less trades and better entries. Yeah, this is just momentum. Momentum flush. I mean, like, you can just tighten your stop here. If you're just going for 1500, then just shoot for 1500. There's no reason to do anything besides... move it to break even potentially. 8.3 hour trade. Took long after we dumped to 15-minute FEG. High time frame fib. Bookmap shows seller absorption. Targeting VWAP plus buy side. Too many with 15-point stop. Count 125 points. TP smack. Bro, this is what I was looking for. Jossie got what I was looking for. Good on you, Jossie. This is a nice trade. This is exactly the trade I was looking for. Good trade though. Great fucking trade. Great fucking trade. I'm putting Jossie in here. There might be another one, but I know Jossie's is fire. GC short, IB high set first, came up, touched the 618, got a reaction, and also tested lower VWAP band. Bookmap showed aggressive selling, so I entered with small stop. Target was IB low, if not a little lower at 3750. Clumsy ass mistake though, but thought it ended up working out. I was using my trackpad instead of my mouse today and pulled my stop loss by accident to the bottom of the screen, which ended up taking me out. Basically a 1 to 2. Worked out because we ended up reversing higher afterwards. Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, you got a 2 to 1, I'd fucking take it because it reversed right there, and the IB low didn't break either, so I think that's fine. Kind of a stroke of luck. Today took one trade, finished with 1 win on MGC, short from the 0.5 level after seeing a clear rejection. Although my entry was a bit late, the setup played out well. Overall, A+. Can still improve on timing on my entries and making sure my fib levels are anchored more precisely. Originally had it marked from 9:30 swing high, but I adjusted to 9 o'clock swing high, which ended up being the correct recognition in time. Up 488. Okay, solid. You've been doing pretty well, Clutch. Yeah, the entry's a little low, especially when we're pushing this upper end high. And I believe this was also... Yeah, so this pushes back above this, like, we had rejected from this upper VWAP band here. When it comes back above this upper VWAP band, I would just expect rejection here. So, yeah. I think the entry's just a little late, but I still think this is a nice trade. Solid. Second trade. Finished 2 for 2, ended up 900. First was short on MGC from 0.5 level after rejection. Entry was a bit late. Second trade was on MNQ. Waited for pullback towards VWAP, saw the reaction, entered on pop. Price ran straight to TP. Dude, solid. Very solid. Yeah, I would need to see this on a 5-minute to tell you if you should adjust your stop up or not. But I think this is a fine trade to take. EMA 9+21 is confirmation. Price touched it. Fib level and EMA and go down. Today RSI didn't work as confirmation. Yeah, I personally don't use RSI, so I would just pair it. You can pair it with fibs, you can pair it with supply demand zones, you can pair it with price action, you can pair it with EMAs, you can pair it with Bollinger Bands. It's really up to you to decide which one to pair it with. I would go and back test that and see which one works. I don't personally use RSI, so I wouldn't know which one to give you as a confluence that I've gone and back tested, but just go back test and see like which ones work. I just adjust this stop to this pivot point once you see that strong rejection, and then this strong 5-minute bar. NQ long win. New York session entered when I saw a red candle. Considering momentum, I wasn't expecting that we'd hit the 382 fib. Was in the trade for more than an hour and almost got stopped. I was targeting the 0.2 and wanted to keep runners towards true day. I saw that we kept rejecting value area low, the big volume profile out of my chart. Decided to scale 2 cons and then 2 more at the 0.2. Got stopped on my runner while trailing it. Okay. Yeah, once this bounces once and then bounces again, I'd bring the stop up. This first initial bounce, when it bounces and then comes back down, like if this was to bounce and then the next candle that prints green, adjust your stop to this pivot low, like how it does here. But this bounces up and then it rejects, then it bounces again, and you get this first strong candle, second strong candle. That's where you adjust your stop up. No, I think this is a good trade, Luis. I'm fine with the scales. We were in this for a while, though. It just took a long time to play out. Oh, Nick, you were going to say the same thing as Dylan? Looking at stats. Bro, you pulled out that dog. You pulled out the dog meme. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good management on this. Okay. Now you got the monkey. Okay. Cool. Good scales. Yeah, I think this is solid. If this was gonna run, it was gonna run. I think the management's great. Good scales. Just overall solid. Part discount, short win, then longer win. Okay, so Dylan Taking a little short in consolidation, and then we reversed. So quick scalp. Okay. I think the stop adjustment was a little early. Same thing I was talking about with Luis's trade. And then I'd bring that up tighter just because you're so close to that limit sell. Yeah, I would have been out of that. I would have been like, this ain't working, bro. Because my stop would have been at the bottom of that 5 minute. Some clean scalps. Used IB on 1 hour today as market went all the way up. Waited for it to come down to low volume node around 424, 590. Saw good confirmation book map. Lots of buying happening. So I entered with stop loss below 5 minute candle. And the upside target was pretty much a fib at negative 0.169. Closed it once it started reversing. Thank you, Baron. Good trade. Good trade, bro. This was the level I was looking at in stream. The entry, like, we could get a little bit better entry. And this stop, it's also kind of like this stop. I'd prefer to have it on the wick just in case it does go back down there. But once you see that second strong 5 minute candle come out, then yeah, I would be fine with that. Combine 4 and 5 took a reversal from London, taking Asia high, but price wanted to move higher first. Second trade was wrong biased after we kept above the upper band and started rejecting off 0.5. 2 losses. Okay, this right. Kind of already talked on this. But if I'm looking here, okay, if I'm looking at this here on GC, right, we're in London. Okay, 3 minute. So this looks the exact same. If I'm looking at this, this is a strong uptrend. I don't want to fade this. I do not want to fade this until I see, like, either it comes up to the value area high of the range. All right, I'm just going to take previous New York session for this. Okay. So when it's getting up near this value area high, I want to see, okay, do we reject or do we sustain? And since we're above this upper VWAP band, I don't really want to short this either. Like, this is pretty far from the VWAP band. When it's far like this, I don't want to try to take a reversal here until it comes back down a little bit. Like here, when it's just like barely above it, I'm fine taking a short up here because this is so close to it. It was also a low volume node and a couple other things, but this comes up to value area high. Okay, it looks like it sustains above, pushes above it, fails, taps that upper VWAP band. Okay, starts to go back up, dips below it, comes back above. This is above the value area high again, rejects again. Okay, now you've gotten 2 rejections. Now you could swing. Okay, I want to short this. You take the short for the London 15-minute orb low. Yeah, it's just the context. It's the context. I think that's what's kind of throwing you off a little bit. Because I think gold, if you can read the volume, it's pretty easy. How many times would you want it to reject? At minimum 1. Minimum 1. So here, like, once this dips below this upper VWAP band, there's 2 ways I can trade this. I can either say, okay, this is at the value area high for this range. If I'm looking, right, when this pops back above and it rejects again, or even if it's, like, when it rejects here, this to me looks weak because it would come up to this area and then push higher. When it comes up there, all right, it looks weak. So if it pops above it again, right, this would be my if-then condition. If this happens, then I will do this. If it pops back up above the value area high, I'm going to look for a short. So I'd probably enter on this 5-minute wick. This 5-minute wick I would enter and just have my stop at like the London high. And then just look for the London low. This didn't really move too much, so it would be kind of hard to hold this. Right, you might get stopped on it if you tighten your stop at all. I personally wouldn't tighten the stop here because there's no like strong rejection below consolidation. Or the other way you can trade it is, okay, we rejected above this, we rejected here again, we rejected above it again. Now we're kind of holding it, but I want to use that London orb stat in my trade. I want to trade towards it. If it fails below value area low, then I'm going to short it on the momentum here. If I get this momentum, then I'll do this. And if I'm looking here, here's your 3-minute inversion. There's your trade. If I'm looking here, right? I mean, I can try it here for a quick scalp if I want to do that, right? Your 3-minute inversion, you get that. You would short this here, probably set your stop up here. And that's what, 87 to 81. I mean, that's like a 5-point scalp. If you're fine with that, that's solid. But I personally think that this other one's better. You take this and you just target the London low, right? Because I don't want to target this London orb. I don't want to target this till like 7 a.m. minimum, like 7 or 8 a.m. is when I want to like shoot for that to hit. Somewhere between like 7 and 9 a.m. is typically when I would look for that. And then the second long, I think this is just a revenge trade, personally. Because if I'm trying to long this in here, I either want to be in at this VWAP band or I want to be in below this VWAP band. Alright. We bounced off the upper band? Yeah, we bounced off it here. But like if I'm trying to long, my ideal location is at this band. It's at this band. So like I would only long this if it comes back down into it, because now your trade location's off. Because if I long it here, right? Maybe I long it on this initial wick. I might get stopped on that. I mean, it's what, 3 points? If I long it here, I have 3 points of risk. I would say 3 to 5 points is my typical risk on GC. I'd probably put the stop below this area. So I would have probably gotten stopped on that too by like a tick. But if I see it start moving back up, I would retry it in this area. Like once I see it starts, okay, I was off by half a point. I'm gonna retry it. Yeah, I would long the second dip. I would probably try it right here. If I'm being honest. Like I would try it on this wick. And I'd probably get stopped on it. And then I'd try it a second time. So I'd either long it on this first one or I'd try it on the second one. But yeah. Was bullish and was expecting a retrace, tried originally at the 0.5 and low volume node after seeing some buying come in on Bookmap. Got stopped, but then we broke the value area low to the downside, then broke back above it and retested it after seeing buyers step back in. We test the value area low, entered long at the POC. As I loan, we have high probable chance of fading POC if we sustain above value area low. Scaled it in and out of trade. Also, edge full stats tell me we are not likely to break the IV low. Okay, so initial trade, stopped on it. Then we got back in. I think this is a good trade. Once you see that momentum come back in, and then you're just looking for the IV high. Good scales on this too, all the way up. When it's stair-stepping like this, I personally don't scale it. Like when it's stair-stepping like that, I just bring my stop up to the bottom of the stair step, and then I just look for the pop to get more profit on it. Milo, killer trade. Confluence was IFG on 3-minute and true day target. Also had a 12-point stop, 1 to 11 RR. 100 points. You got 100 points out of it. Yeah, this stop needs to be managed better, bro. When this is breaking out like this, if this is really gonna head to true day, it's gonna trend like a motherfucker. Like it's not. There's not gonna be a red candle in this leg. So yeah, solid trade. Milo. My confidence. Ace of trade, price stalled out. 5-minute IFG entered 11 cons, added 5 more and retraced down to the lows. TV was max. Waiting day for eval, could have read lower. Swab, this is a nice trade. Get short here. I would have probably set the stop right here. I think the stop's a little wide, personally. It's not like wide point wise, but it's wide structure wise if you're off 1 minute. But if you're on 5 minute, maybe it looks different. Yeah, clean 50-point trade. Or more. No. 60 points. Good management on that too. Good trade, bro. Top pick last night of GC shorts. Low volume node that line with weekly VWAP set limit weighted. Trail is needed using VWAP EMA and VWAP extensions. Exited prematurely. Didn't like how buyers started stepping in around 790 profit on 2 accounts. Both accounts have 0 drawdown on them. As I crawled towards that target goal. Sorry for lack of picks. Was working at my JOB. Clean. Clean. That's clean. Jetsy. Came in the market with bullish bias because true day wasn't hit. Also rejection off high time frame zone. Location was low volume node. Weekly VWAP confirmation was second. Rejection of VWAP. Not a bad loss. Okay. 625. Yeah. This. Okay. Did we adjust our stop up on this? Because if, like, I'm fine with... I'd prefer this to retrace to get the entry, a little bit better of an entry, and see what price action delivers. But when this wicks twice like that, the stop needs to be brought up. And then once price starts stalling out up here, and you start stair-stepping lower, and then you see this big pop up, and then it immediately starts to get faded, I need to get out of that. I need to get out of the position. Gold. Took that with 3 lots. Seeing big number money-wise, it came out with... After I saw 1K, went back in with 1 lot. I was convincing myself there's no volume down there. We'll go down more. I said it will not go out. If I could see good money, then... Book went up there was a lot of sellers. When pullback happens, IDK. I need to find a way to not overthink. After I switched to 15-minute chart, my psychology so peeped well, and I'm really overtrading. Okay. Why did we short here? Is this the short? We closed this pretty early, and then we shorted here again, and closed it pretty much for break even. Yeah, I mean, we bounced pretty hard out of that level, so I don't know on this one. This one, like, I want to be getting in. I want to be getting in up in this range. But, yeah. Okay, now let me read chat. Chat's been going crazy. Okay. Bro, can I send you my stats and you can help my stop after being break-even trader all of September, 1 session, 1 strat, and I keep taking the wrong setup. 2 minutes later, I get the setup I was looking for. Try to flow memory and macro time, and it somewhat worked, but didn't get what I wanted. My strat gives me 7 to 20 points on ES. No more than 4-point stop loss, 250 previous daily loss limit. Your stat, like your stop on ES should be... ES, it should be 5 to 10 points for a stop, in my opinion. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in that range. Depends on the volatility as well. A lot of trades under 15 seconds. Like this 15 seconds to 5 minutes, there's a lot of trades in there. And our win rate's terrible on it. So, like, your win rate's great if you hold it 10 minutes to an hour. But yeah, your stop's probably too tight, or just entering at the wrong spot. So I would try to incorporate order flow in there to give you better entry, or I would just wait for additional confirmation. That's probably what it is. Like, you're just not waiting for additional confirmation. What's the crap strat? I got a crap strat, bro. Trailing stop feature while you're sleeping. Depends. Do you want to use it or not? Like, I personally wouldn't, but like if you want to be confident, like if you want to be like, okay, I'm gonna go take a nap and I'm gonna trail my stops using top steps feature, then use it, bro. Baron, I've been cooking up a really good GC Asia strat that I really like. It has a lot of good potential, like 3 months of forward testing. Do you think I should first master New York and try to get out of break even, or trade both? I mean, for the if you're seeing more success with gold, then move over to gold, bro. Like fuck, even say just fuck ES, fuck New York, fuck ES, fuck NQ. I'm just gonna trade gold in the overnight. Why do you have to trade New York? The market's open 23 hours a day. Why do I have to trade New York? The answer is you don't. Just because everyone else trades New York doesn't mean you have to trade New York. If you're seeing great results with gold, why would you not trade gold? That's why I switched. Okay, I'm tired of shit. I didn't get any sleep last night. Actually, let me check my Whoop. Let me see what it says. How much sleep did I get? I got 5 hours of sleep. I'm gonna go take a nap. I will see you guys later. Yeah, I'll go to the gym. I got my walking already. What kept me up? Last night, I don't know, bro. You got 7 hours of sleep? Good stuff, see. Bye, Mexi Jew. Damn, that's crazy, bro. I was dreaming about Baron last night. Y'all are crazy. Alright, I will see you guys.